Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am back with another video, and for today's video I am finally going to be closing out my April monthly budget. I'm not only going to be closing out these spreads like the monthly budget spread, but also I'm going to do my week 5 check-in, which is from April 27th through the 30th. Aside from that, I'm also going to update you guys as to any variable income sources, and I will be also closing out my sinking fund spread. So let me go ahead and start with laying down the last little budget expense stickers I have here in my monthly view, and I already took out my key and put that in my May monthly view. If you guys have not checked out the video where I set this up, as well as all of my other budgeting videos for the month of May, I definitely suggest that you do. So like I mentioned, the last weekly check-in for me is from the 27th until the 30th, and in those 4 days I had only 2 expenses, which weren't that major, but definitely something that I want to note and that I like to note in my monthly view. So the first one was for Trader Joe's. I bought some groceries. It wasn't on Monday, that was on the 29th. So I went on Wednesday with my mom, and that was $43. And then aside from that, I had another expense from my allowance not cash envelope, just category, because I'm not using cash envelopes. Went ahead and bought a tie-dye sweater from my sister. She had a little quarantine project that was making tie-dye sweaters, as well as I think she started also making like sets, like a short and sweater set. And so I went ahead and sent her the money for that on Wednesday. And that is basically all of my spending for the last week, or the last 4 days of the month. So now that I have that there, I can go ahead and first put a payday sticker down here. I'm trying to think. I did get paid on the 28th, because although I did close my shop on the 26th, I still did have a payday on the 28th. So for no spends, we have, I believe, 3. So let me put those. This is going to be very simple, I think. For the whole month of April, I think things have been very simple, just because there hasn't been any spending out of the ordinary because of the whole situation, of course. But let me actually check how many no spend days I had this month, because I'm pretty sure just from seeing it right now, it looks like quite a bit. So let's see. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. So I had 15 no spend days, I believe, in March. I just want to compare really quick. I had 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. I also had 15 no spend days, so that's actually really funny. March was also one of those months where I didn't spend as much money, although I'm not spending for like the categories that I track in my monthly view, which would be my cash envelopes, because I really haven't been going out of my house. I have spent money, you guys know, for like sticker purchases, which I consider business expenses, because I do end up showing all those stickers in some way in some of my videos that I make for you guys. So that's kind of something else to make note of, that although I do have a ton of no spends, in my monthly view for my regular categories, I do spend money for sticker purchases and other stuff for my YouTube channel. So that is that, and I think we can now move on to the weekly check-in spread. And this is also going to be something very fast, since we only have 1 expense per like category. If that. Want to know how your month went, how your budgeting went. I know a lot of us have been more prone to spending a lot more online, and I think that has definitely happened with me. I think for the most part, I've been wanting to get a lot of new office supplies and just change up how I store my stock, my sticker stock for my shop, just because I do plan on making an office tour video. But as you guys know, all of that, like stuff from like the Container Store and stuff like that, they're pretty pricey. So let me not ramble on about that. But first, for food, we have $43, and I'm going to subtract it from the remaining amount that we had last week, which was $101. So remaining, we have $58 in here. So I was, as you guys can see, under. Now, if you guys would like to see specifically within that food category, I do have my tracker here in my micro happy planner. So after Trader Joe's, I still had $43 left in groceries. I was debating whether I was going to roll over the money that I had in all of these categories or not, which it wouldn't be hard just because I'm not going to be doing cash envelopes for May either as of now. I've came to the conclusion that I think it's better to keep that in April, and instead of just rolling over the money or saving it for something specific like I've done before for like savings challenges, that I would just keep my money there and just, you know, whatever I have left over transfer to savings. I am trying to save as much as I can while also paying debt. I think for me this month, that's what I'm gonna do. But I feel like in the past, I've never done this. I've always like rolled over my money or just saved it towards something specific. And then for eating out, I had $5 left. Didn't buy anything. And then for gas, I'm like happy but sad to say that I have not spent a single dime on gas this month. I know that's like a very good move for my budget, but to me it just reminds me of the fact that I haven't gone anywhere in April. And I don't know how you guys feel about the whole situation. I'm sure you guys could relate that it's been tough, you know. April was a tough month, but I feel like towards the end of April, things have become a lot more of a routine, and I don't feel as bad, let's say, as I would feel in the beginning of the month. But still, just seeing, you know, that I have $40 remaining for gas, which is all the money that I budgeted for in April anyways, it's bittersweet. That's what I will say about that. So now that I have food, I'll go ahead and check this one off, and then I'll just go ahead and check off the tie-dye sweater, which was $25. And now for shopping, that is for both my allowance and beauty cash envelopes, and this has never happened before actually, so this might be a little confusing to some of you guys, but I did go over my allowance budgeted amount. Let me just check what I have remaining. So 57 minus 25 means that I should have $32 remaining, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys my tracker now. I only had $18 in my allowance category, and after the $25, that means that I'm negative $7. So this is definitely something that is going to happen, and that could happen when you are not using cash envelopes. It was very quick for me to just transfer her the money instead of giving it to her cash, and at the moment I realized that I was going to go over my budget. It's not as simple of just saying, oh no, I only have $18 in my cash envelope and this is all that I can use. I mean, I would still make this purchase because I want to, you know, support my sister's like side little hustle that she started, but this is something to definitely make note of, especially when you're deciding whether you want to keep doing cash envelopes or not. The good thing was that for beauty, I still had $39 left. So the difference kind of came out of the beauty category, which I don't like to do. So when I finish up with my monthly budget spread, you guys will see that I was over in allowance and not in beauty. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of explain that to you guys really quick. And then from budget, I haven't had any unbudgeted expenses for this month, which is always really nice. I'm happy about that. And although I did go over for allowance, I did want to keep that within that category and not count it as an unbudgeted expense because that did come out of allowance. So that is all for my weekly check-in part of this video. And then I'm going to move on now to my sinking funds. This is my sinking funds spread, and these are all the transactions that I've made for the month of April. Since the last time we saw each other, I believe I have one more that came out of my birthday's sinking fund, which was on the 28th for $113. If you guys don't know, when all of this craziness started happening back in March, that was around the time where my dad's birthday was, and we had to like cancel his whole birthday party and everything. So I completely for a second forgot all about his birthday present, but don't worry because my mom definitely did not let me forget about it. So she ended up looking for something for him because I feel like she's very good at that. She's very good at like picking gifts for other people, whereas I don't have that talent. So she looked up something for me and it ended up being $113 like I mentioned. So for my description, I just put that's birthday present, which I had that money in there for his birthday present anyway. So it wasn't like I was taking from anybody else's birthday present money. So I'm now going to look at all the negatives and take a look at how much I've taken out of each of my sinking funds to get my ending amounts here. So let's go ahead and start. So for adventures, I didn't use up anything, so the ending should be $300. Nothing for Amazon Prime, so this should be $110. For birthdays, I did use, I think, most of this money up. Let's see. I started with 109 and added 151. And then I did make 2 transactions. So that means that I should still have $20 in that envelope. So let me actually add those up. So 127 plus 113. That means that I spend $240 in here. Next, for car insurance, I paid $220. So that means that I should have $50 remaining. Whoops, $30 remaining. Sorry about that. Okay, so $30 remaining. For cart maintenance, I didn't have any cart maintenance done this month, so we are ending with 200. Car payment, nothing out, so $373. Christmas, nothing out. I'm glad that I started that Christmas sinking fund already. I'm really, really glad about that. Okay, clothing. For clothing, I did have some spending, so 60 plus 50 minus 71 and 33. That means that I should have $6 left over. And let me add this. So 71 plus 33. That means that I spent $104 from my clothing sinking fund. Next, for date night, I did spend money from there. So $45 were spent from my date night sinking fund. So that means that I should have $9 left in here. For entertainment, there wasn't any spending. So should still have 32. Medical, I did buy some new contacts, so that was $190 spent. So that means that we should have $34 left. Perfect. And then for a Peru trip, there wasn't any spending. So in total for my Peru trip, I should have $735. And that coil is messing with me. So now let me go ahead and add all of this. So 240 plus 220 plus 104 plus 45 plus 190. In total, I spent $799 from my sinking funds. And for ending amount, $1,974. So that should be the same amount for my beginning in the month of May, which I think does match up perfectly. Let me actually double check. Yes, it does. So we're all good there. I do like to close out my sinking funds in front of you guys, just so that you guys know how to go about closing out your sinking funds. I know that sinking funds sounds very, very confusing for a lot of you guys, but I'm trying to at least make it a little bit easier in the aspect of closing it, so that kind of why I show you guys everything step by step. So this spread is now all done. And now let's go ahead and quickly go to my variable income spread. I did add 2 other sources here. First one was Amazon, which I wasn't expecting anything. I never really expect anything from Amazon because that honestly really varies. So I wasn't estimating anything, but I ended up getting $17.25, which is honestly not bad. If you guys are wondering where this is from, they are from all the affiliate links that I provide to you guys in my description boxes. It really does help me out when you guys use any of those affiliate links, whether they be for Amazon or share a sale or so on and so forth. So that was from Amazon. And then I do like to put Etsy on here, not because I put all of my shop funds into my own monthly budget. I like to separate those, but because I do end up getting extra money from my Etsy shop to put towards my debt. And it's the reason why I always say that you guys are the reason how I'm able to pay off so much of my debt at a time. So that is that for my variable income sources. I think I had one more expense. Yes, I only had one more expense. This is the last time we saw each other, which was from Chrissy and Designs. I've never shopped from Chrissy and Designs, but I always see everybody talking about her shop, from Plan with Lakin to Julie's Plans to many other content creators. So I thought that I would check out her shop just because she had the most perfect neutral leopard Dollar Tuesday collection. So I went ahead and picked up some things. So I spent $35.75 from there, and you guys will be seeing that in a future sticker haul video, so stay tuned for that. And then last but not least, on the 29th I got charged $16.10 from all of the shipping that I've done from either giveaway winner prices or patron cash envelope orders. So that is my little shipping sticky note. I think that concludes that. So now let's go ahead and move on, and let me bring you guys to my monthly budget spread. Okay, I think I'm zoomed in well enough here. So now that I'm all done tracking my weekly check-in and have an idea of what all of my actuals are at the end of the month, I am going to go ahead and input those in here. So for groceries, I started with $225 and I had 43 left over. So that means that I spent $182. And once again, like I mentioned, I was $43 under. So that's going to be my variance. Next, for eating out, I spent $120, and I know this because I have $5 left, which is my variance. Next, for gas, I know for sure I didn't spend anything, like I was saying. So I was $40 under. For allowance, I did go over budget and I spent $107. So to show that I'm over, I'm going to put that in red. So I was over by $7. Next, for beauty, I was under. I have $39 remaining, so that means that I'm under $39, which is crazy. I should have probably bought myself something, right? But we didn't, so that's okay. It's just gonna go towards our savings. So we spent $61 in total, and I actually brought down the budgeted amount for beauty for the month of May because I saw that I didn't spend as much, which is what you have to do, which is why I like to keep track of my spending, because I like to see where I can cut off a bit of money that I'm budgeting and put it maybe somewhere else, or just put it straight to savings. Next, for coffee. Coffee, I haven't really been spending. I actually only spent $10. I think the main reason for this was because I haven't gone out, and the times that I have gone out, my boyfriend Paul has been paying for coffee. So, that's always great. So I only spent $10. So I was under by 30. For rent, this was the same as the actual amount. So no variance here. And for phone bill, I did write down what it was. And I think it might have been, the same exact amount as it was last month. And I think the month prior to that. So that was $109.33. So that means that I was under by 67 cents. And then there was nothing for unbudgeted. So pretty good, I would say. I think the only thing that really caught me off guard, like I've mentioned before in my weekly check-in videos, would be my tuition, how it went up from $298 to $596. And I kind of already told you guys why, but the course that I'm taking, which is the last course that I need in order to prepare me for the state exam, is a 10-week course. rather than a 5-week course, which is what I've been doing since like July. So that's kind of the change in that. So I did want to go ahead and mark it here like that, just so I know that I didn't, foresee it being so much. So now I'm going to go ahead and add all of my actuals. So in total, I spent less than $1,959 with 33 cents. And let me just double check with my variances. So let me add all the positives first. 30, and then subtract negative. So I was still under by $150 with 67 cents, which is absolutely crazy. I don't think I've ever been under by this amount of money, but I think once again, it just has to do with the fact that I haven't been out. There hasn't been, more ways for me to spend money by going out rather than just by staying in. So I'm really happy about that. Now I can also put my actual debt payment, which was $676.99. I made a whole video about my debt snowball numbers updates, so make sure you check that out if you guys would like. So now I can go ahead and add all these up too. Okay, so the total for my fixed expenses was $2,789 with 81 cents. And now I can go ahead and also add up my variable expenses to just so you guys know the exact amount of my expenses. So this amount is a lot of money, as you guys know, especially because of my extra debt payments. So that's kind of how I bring in my Etsy income into my personal budget. That's how I like to do it, aside from, getting a paycheck every single month from my shop, just to help me pay off my debt. So now I can go ahead and put my budgeted amount for variable and fixed expenses, which is going to be the same thing for fixed for both budgeted and for actual. So I'm really happy to see that the numbers are a lot lower than I thought they were going to be. And now the last steps that I would go about once I'm done, of course, filming, because I don't disclose my income, would be to add my expected as well as actual amounts for my income right here in the total section, subtract all of my expenses from that actual income amount, write it down here, and from that I will be putting most of it, I think, towards savings. And I will from now on just go ahead and move forward with just me bringing in income from my Etsy shop to put towards my debt. I think that's what I'm going to do, and this way I'll be able to save a lot more than I saved, let's say, back in 2019. So that's pretty much, I think, going to be it for this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys did, please don't forget to give it a huge thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel if you guys are not subscribed already, and hopefully I will get to see you guys on my next video. Bye guys.